Right now, you are holding your breath. You didn't decide to. You didn't notice. But somewhere in the last few seconds, your chest went still. Your shoulders crept up toward your ears, and the air simply stopped moving through you. And you felt none of it happen. You believe you breathe automatically. You don't. Not always. The moment your attention locks onto something, a screen, a problem, a sentence you're reading right now, your body quietly does something it was never designed to do during calm moments. It forgets to breathe. You might think this is just a small bad habit, a quirk, something a deep breath could fix. But the real answer is far stranger than that. What you are doing has a name, and a woman named Linda Stone gave it to you. A former executive who worked at both Apple and Microsoft, she began noticing in the early 2000s that the instant she opened her email, something in her body changed. Her breath grew shallow. Sometimes it stopped entirely. So she did something simple. She gathered around 200 people, wired them up, and watched them sit down at their screens. And what she found was almost universal. Roughly 8 out of 10 people held their breath, or breathed in shallow, broken bursts, the second they began reading and replying to messages. She called it email apnea. Later, as it spread to phones and tablets and every glowing rectangle in your life, she called it screen apnea. You are almost certainly one of those 8. But why? Why would the simple act of focusing shut down the one thing keeping you alive? To understand that, you have to stop thinking of breathing as plumbing. It is not just oxygen going in and carbon dioxide coming out. Your breath is wired directly into the oldest, most primitive control panel in your brain, the part that decides hundreds of times a day whether you are safe or whether you are about to die. Picture a small animal in a tall field. A rabbit, maybe. Far off, it senses something move. In that instant, the rabbit does not run. It freezes. It goes completely still. Its ears lock forward, its eyes widen, and its breath, its loud, rhythmic, rustling breath, goes silent. Because in a world of predators, movement is death, and breath is movement. A still body cannot be seen. A silent body cannot be heard. For your ancestors, attention and stillness were the same circuit. To focus hard on a threat in the grass was to hold yourself perfectly motionless. To listen for the snap of a twig in the dark was to quiet your own lungs so you could hear past them. Sharp focus meant a held breath. The two were never separate things. They evolved together, fused over millions of years. So here is the strange truth. Your body did not break when you sat down at your laptop. It did exactly what it has always done. You gave it a target that demanded total attention, and it responded the only way it knows how. It went still. It went silent. It held its breath, the way your ancestors held theirs in the tall grass. The problem is that there is no lion. There is only an inbox. And this is where it stops being a curiosity and starts shaping your entire day. Because breathing does not just respond to your state of mind, it creates it. A neuroscientist named Christina Zelano, working at Northwestern University, ran a study that should change how you think about every breath you take. Her team discovered that the simple rhythm of breathing through your nose actually drives electrical activity deep inside the brain, in the regions that handle memory and fear. The phase of your breath mattered. People recognized frightened faces faster and remembered things better when they encountered them while breathing in compared to breathing out. Read that again. The timing of your breath changes what your brain does with the world. Breathing is not downstream of your thoughts. It is woven into them. So what happens when you hold your breath for hours at a time, hunched over a glowing screen? You are not just skipping a little oxygen, you are jamming a signal. You are sending your brain into a low, flickering state of alarm and leaving it there. Think about what a held breath actually is to your nervous system. You inhale and you stop. You freeze on the in-breath. And your body has a very old rule about that posture. A frozen, held inhale means a threat is near. Stay ready. Stay tense. This is where a researcher named Stephen Porges becomes essential. Porges spent decades studying a single nerve, the vagus nerve, the long, wandering cable that runs from your brainstem down into your heart and your gut. It is the master switch for calm. When the vagus nerve is active, your heart slows, your muscles soften, Your body shifts into the state where it rests, digests, and repairs. And here is the part that matters to you. The vagus nerve is activated most strongly on the exhale. The out-breath is the off switch for stress. Now you can see the trap. When you hold you